Hi class, for these problems we're going to be graphing by using the slope and the y-intercept. Okay, so let's take a look at the first one. And as we look at the first one, the actual y-intercept happens to be the coordinate point 0, 2. And the actual slope happens to be negative 3/4. Remember that we're looking at the equation y is equal to mx plus b. And in this case, we're going to be placing a coordinate point or a dot at 0, 2. And then the second dot it's going to be, well, following the slope of negative 3/4. So technically we're going to go 1, 2, 3, and then 4 to the right. So we're looking at 1. Oh, give me just a second. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. That's going to be our second coordinate point. Our line, we're just going to be connecting those two dots. So once again, our line is going to go through those two coordinate points. Let me just make it a little bit thicker. And that's pretty much it for this example. This one we already have in y is equal to mx plus b, where m is the slope and b is the y-intercept. Let's take a look at the second one. Now, in this particular problem, we don't have the equation on y is equal to mx plus b, so we're going to solve for y. So solve for y. And this is now 3x minus 2y is equal to 2. So we'll subtract the 3x. And this will give us negative 2y is equal to negative 3x plus 2. And then we'll do a division of a negative 2. So we end up with y is equal to 3/2 of x minus 1. Remember that you're dividing basically both of these by the negative 2. So the negative 3 will become a positive, and then the plus 2 will become a negative 1 after the division. So the y-intercept, it's going to be 0, negative 1, and the slope happens to be 3/2. And well, 0, negative 1, it's here. Then 3/2 means we're going to go 1, 2, 3, and then 1 and 2 to put the second coordinate point. So our line is going to be going through those two coordinate points. So our line is going to be going in this direction. Okay, that's it for problem B. Let me just check the algebra. But we're good. Okay, let's take a look at problem C. And in this particular problem, they want a slope of 3 and a y-intercept of 0, 2. So in this case, 0, 2 is your y-intercept and your slope of 3. So technically 1, 2, 3, and 1 to the right. Remember that the slope you're viewing it as 3, but it's technically 3/1. And they just want the line. So our line is going to go through those two coordinate points. Okay, let's take a look at problem D. And problem D, it's asking us with a slope of 0. It's asking a slope of 0 and a coordinate point 1, 1. So in this case, that's your coordinate point 1, 1. Your slope of 0, it's going to be a horizontal line. So let me place a horizontal line going through that coordinate point. They do want us to find the equation of the line. So this particular line, as stated on the problem, it's gonna have m is equal to 0 as the slope, and because it goes through the point, well, technically 1, 1, and if it's and because it has to be a horizontal since the slope is equal to 0, the line has to be y is equal to 1. That's a line that has a slope of 0 and contains the coordinate point 1, 1. Let's take a look at problem E. And in problem E, they want us to do 5, 1 as a point. So 5, 1, it's here. And then a slope that's undefined. Okay, any slope that's undefined, it's gonna be coming from an actual line that happens to be vertical. So in this case, we're looking at a vertical line. And let me just write it out on the side. So M is undefined. So the actual line is x is equal to, and in this case, it's going to be equivalent to the x value. So x is equal to 5. It's going to be our line. That's a line that has a, well, that happens to be vertical and passes through the point 5, 1. Keep in mind that we're viewing that as x and y. So it has to pass through that x is equal to 5. Okay, let's take a look at the next problem. And on this problem, which I think it's the last one, they want us to find the equation of the line. Okay, so good news. Your y-intercept, so let me write it here. So the y-intercept is 0, 1, since you're viewing this coordinate point here. That's 0, 1, and then we're gonna follow the slope. So we are given a second coordinate point, so you're gonna have, well, technically 1 and 2 to the right, and actually 1 to the right. So your slope is equal to 2, or 2 over 1. And then if you write it as y is equal to mx plus b, you're gonna have the y is equal to 2x plus 1 as our main equation. That's actually it for this set of problems. Let me just double check. So you are going from 0, 1. I'm checking this part here. So 2 units and then 1 to the right. Yeah, slope of 2. Okay, you guys, that's actually it for these set of examples.